Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'd like to see by a show of hands how many of you have been to a Turkeyen Tain talks before. Wonderful. How many of you attended the first Turkeyen Tain talk? Everyone who attended the first Turkeyen Tain talks needs to get a money prize. So pick one of these gentlemen or lady on the stage, and at the end of the Turkeyen Tain talks, go to them and get your money prize for being at the first Turkeyen Tain talks. If you've got something partisan to people with bald head, go to George. But you know, don't discriminate against people with hair also. I mentioned number one because, as you'll notice from the program, this is number 16. A round of applause for Professor Mohammed and the team that have consistently, every 2 months, find an important subject to have a conversation not only with people in the room, and we've consistently used this room. We started at Duke Lodge, we outgrew Duke Lodge, and we've moved here. But we've extended the perimeter of the conversation to people in the virtual sphere. And so I'd like to welcome not only you in the room, but our viewers online who are following us from different parts of the world. I asked some of our team members, what's the average viewership? It's between 5,000 and 7,000. A round of applause for all those who follow us on Turkeyen Tain. Now, as our moderator indicated, money matters. But I want to share with you one powerful sentence from a gentleman who we may not necessarily associate with money. And it's a gentleman called Nelson Mandela. What Nelson Mandela said was the following: money will not create success, but it will free you to have the will to be successful. Money by itself would not create success, but it can free you to have the will to be successful. But I would argue, notwithstanding the fact that I'm a big admirer of Nelson Mandela, will, while it may be necessary, is not sufficient. You've got to have the opportunity, as we hear tonight, to be educated about the ways in which you can create, keep, and expand your money. So this is a conversation that has not only the intent of talking in theoretical terms about success linked to money, but to extend the educational perimeters of all of us, whether we've got a lot, like men without hair, or a little, like vice chancellors of the University of Tain. Money matters to success. Education about money matters as well. But I think we also know that money is not all there is in life. Important though it is, there is much more to life than money, and there are things that money can't buy. Let me share with you a couple of those things where there are what I would call money limitations. Money can buy a bed, but not sleep. It can buy a computer, but not brain. It can buy food, but not an appetite. It can buy finery, but not necessarily beauty. Money can buy a house, but not necessarily a home. Money can buy medicine, but not necessarily health. Can buy luxuries, but not necessarily culture. Can buy amusements, but not necessarily happiness. Can buy acquaintance, but not necessarily friends. Money can perhaps buy obedience, but not faithfulness. And last but not least, it can buy sex, but sometimes it cannot buy love. And so, as we have the conversation about that important ingredient in our lives, called money, I think it's important for us to extend the perimeter of our relationship with money and importance of money in our lives to recognize that while money is important in life, in our livelihoods, there are things that money cannot buy. But let me end on a note in suggesting that particularly in our nation, our society, as we look to first oil and beyond, and there'll be a lot of money, we also need to be grounded in values. With wealth, with oil wealth, the experience of many societies suggests there can be corruption. We need to be grounded in the values of integrity, of honesty. Not pursuing the money in any way irrespective of the law, irrespective of your humanity, irrespective of your family, to rob, to steal, just to get the money. I would commend to us all value. Values are important, and the value of honesty, the value of integrity is important. Let me end on the following note. A program like this does not just happen. And as we designed the Turkeyen Tain Talks, and as we have had several other series, the Conversations on Law and Society, we had a wonderful conversation not too long at Humanity on indigenous languages. There are some cardinal features of these conversations and Turkeyen Tain Talks. One of those features is to build partnerships and sponsorships. And I'd like you to therefore give a round of applause to all the partners, all the sponsors, whose logos are on the first page of your program. Let's give them a round of applause. They have put their money where their mouth is. Their money has been talking, and we need to appreciate them. A cardinal feature as well of our conversations and Turkeyen Tain Talks is involvement of our students in a variety of roles, and you'll hear from one of our dynamic students, not only in the panel, but one of our dynamic student leaders towards the end. For us, these Turkeyen Tain Talks enable some of the soft skills of our students to be practiced while they're at the university, before they get out, building the soft skills, building the relationships. That, for us, is an important cardinal rule. And the third, and I made reference to it earlier, for us it's important to extend the discourse beyond a physical space. So we found a way in almost all of our Turkeyen Tain Talks to live stream, to enable people beyond Georgetown, beyond the Pegasus, or wherever we hold it. We've sometimes gone to Barbies, several times, I think 3 or 4 times, but it is also always live streamed wherever we go. I want to end almost where I began, and to say that even though the panelists are critical, and let's give them a round of applause. We got to give them a better round of applause. Money matters, but the applause also matters. But even if you have the panelists, there's got to be some organizing entities, individuals, who construct getting the panelists, who reach out and get the sponsors, who do the organization to get the live stream set up, who plan with Pegasus. We've got the dates for the whole year of Turkeyen Tain Talks. That team is headed by one of our distinguished university leaders in the person of Deputy Vice Chancellor Paloma Mohammed and her wonderful team. Let's give them a round of applause. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to commend to us all, whether we're here or in a virtual space, a fascinating opportunity to extend the perimeter of our knowledge on something that is important, money, but we also want to keep in mind the importance of values. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Professor Griffith, please. So for the Turkeyen Tain Talks, this is suite number 16, a testament to its importance and its relevance for the community, and we hope to see many more going. All right? Now I'd like to invite the representative for Republic Bank to give some brief remarks, Ms. Parvati Tain.